Yeah, we back. We back. Crumpets Compton here, y'all. AKA Jim Jig, AKA J Legend, AKA the best in the business. I'm here talking about the Eagles hitting gyms and also OTAs. Yeah, we talking about the hitting gym, which is guys like Jalen Hunt, which came on. He came on. He started to come on after they started getting playing time. After a few guys went down. After Brandon Graham went down, and he was able to get on the field. He's starting to come on, especially when we got into the playoffs. So that was the thing. He started to come on, and him and Noah Smith really came on. Noah Smith came on after the bye, especially in that Giants game. That was really when Noah Smith really came on. Yeah, that first Giants game, and he went in and actually ended up averaging what 6.5 sacks. I think he gonna get it. I think Nolan Smith gonna be a double-digit guy, and it was a big winner for us to get Bryce Huff off the books. We saved $7.7 million on the cap. Yeah, we was able to save that type of money on the cap. That was a good thing. Because Eagles had a, a lot of space now they could put in it because he was just taking up a roster spot. Yeah, he was taking up a roster spot. So now that allows Nolan Smith to get more snaps, Jealous Hunt to get more snaps. You got the guy we just drafted, APR, Anytime Powell Riley. They get him time. They get all the other guys. He ain't taking the roster spot. We got Bradbury off the books. So we able to do some things now. We able to play the guys we need to play to find out what we got. And that's why we ain't going to get no big free agent because we need to see what guys that we got like we did last year. And I like what we seen at the end of the year with them guys that we had. Because you got to find out what you got. You getting all these big free agents, and you don't know what guys you got. You never gonna find out what moves you need to make. You probably didn't even need to move. You just need to play the guys that you got. And Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith, they know how to set the edge. And Jalen Hunt was a beast in the playoffs. He was a straight beast in the playoffs. He was he was taking names and he was cashing checks and taking names. So Jalen Suggs looked real promising, and I said he was a good. I said he was still in the draft when we picked him up last year. They got him in the third round. I thought that was a steal. After I saw his highlight, after I saw his tape, he had a good tape. So I was like, I said, is he play up to his ability and really put in the work? But I said by the end of the season, he gonna really flash, and that's what he did. And that's exactly what he did. He popped, he sizzled, but we still got to put it all together on the field. Everybody talking about get Trey Henderson, get this guy, get that guy. No, we not trying to spend that type of money. We trying to save that cash to get to Jalen Carter and pay some of them other guys. Why we gonna spend that big money on them? That don't make sense. Don't make sense. Yeah, don't make no sense. And I'm sure to get back on Bryce Huff. I'm sure Bryce Huff, he's gonna do well with the 49ers after we send him because he definitely wasn't fit. If Vic Fangio wasn't gonna sit there and play him, no, he can't. He's not a 3-down guy. He's not. He's not a 3-down guy. Because in the Fangio system, you got to be able to set the edge. You got which is stop the run. We have to stop the run. You got to be able to play in coverage here and there, play in zone coverage, and you got to be able to rush the passer. You got to be a overround raw edge rusher. And that's what you got to be able to do. And Bryce Huff, he couldn't do it. He couldn't stop the run. He couldn't play in coverage. He wasn't good at that. Only thing he could do was rush the passer. And when he came to the Eagles, he could barely do that. Because he was more like a garbage time player. He wasn't really setting the edge or doing any of that type of stuff. But I'm excited that we was able to get rid of him, to open up a roster spot. And then we could probably add another old lineman. Cause I think we only had like 8 old linemen last year. We had to play. We had to play our left guard at center at some point. Like if we didn't have a backup center outside of him. Yeah, no, we can't do that again. We gotta have like 10 offensive linemen. 10 offensive linemen, 10 defensive linemen. Yeah. But last year we were deep in defense. But yeah, we gonna. But I think we gonna be deep, pretty deep. But we got a lot of unproven guys this year. Cause they were like, yeah, Dalton Smith he only did it in 9 years, but he could prove he proved that he could do it. Yeah, because he's the only one that's actually really proven. Jalen Hurts, I believe he could do it because he did it last year when he was in the playoffs, and he did it late in the season. So he came. That's when he came on. Yeah, that's when he came on. But y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, he came on. Yeah, he came on. Yeah, because they was able to they got in the playoffs. Yeah, Nolan Smith he showed up, showed out. But Nolan Smith he came on, like I said, he came on during the Giants game. And after that, he was lighting them up ever since then. Jealous Hunt came on a few games after that when he finally got he came on after the Ram game when he finally got playing time. And that's when he came on and he was showing up and showed out just like he showed up and showed out in the playoffs, even in the Super Bowl. He was big time in the Super Bowl because he was tackling Patrick Mahomes like crazy. He was tackling Patrick Mahomes like crazy. But yeah, like I said, they opened up a roster spot. They get either O line or a D lineman, but I think they're gonna go with 10 O linemen this year. They're gonna get 10 O linemen this year. Yeah, I believe they're gonna go 10 O linemen this year. But we're gonna switch topics. We're gonna talk about a little bit about N'Kobe Dean. They said N'Kobe Dean he's progressing. Yeah, he should be back. I guess after week 4, week 5, they say he's able to walk around now. So he making progress. But I believe it's gonna be his last year. I don't see. I don't really see him getting extended because this is a contract year for him. But I don't see. I seen the Eagles let him walk because he's hurt every year. This dude is hurt every year. When I say every year, every year. But the Eagles, they got Jahai Campbell, so I believe Campbell gonna replace him at inside linebacker. Cause Jahai Campbell ain't paying no edge rusher. He's only 230. That's too light to be an edge rusher. You gotta be at least 245 to be an edge rusher. And I don't see them putting him at no edge. So he's gonna be the next inside linebacker. They ain't gonna re-sign N'Kobe Dean. But they pretty deep. They pretty deep at inside linebacker. They got Jeremiah Trier. They got Nicobe. They got Zach Bond. They got that other guy they drafted from Georgia. What's his name? Zanella. Wherever I can't pronounce his name. The guy they got from Georgia, but they got a lot of people. They got a lot of it's deep. They got a lot of people. But I'm looking forward to the season. They going against the Cowboys in the opening in the opener. So we gonna see how that plays out. But most likely we gonna win that game because the Cowboys is trash. They garbage. They hot garbage. I don't see the Cowboys going nowhere. I see they probably be in that 8-18, 8-19 at best. I don't really see them doing anything at all. So they gonna be trash. But we just have to see how everything works out. Where this is Crump. It's a conversation here, y'all. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace.